Good evening and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, but definitely hit the like button. I want you guys to know that I truly appreciate you so much. All of my subscribers that have been here with me, all of the new subscribers that are choosing to subscribe to the channel, I truly appreciate you as I work hard to bring you good content. Those that come over, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Um, you know, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also make sure you hit the like button. Hitting the like button, hitting the like button helps to keep the video in their algorithm, okay? It helps the video to circulate. Also, if you would like to support the channel, definitely you can support a sister on Cash App. Okay, you can donate via Cash App, or you can hit the Super Thanks button at the bottom of the video. I truly appreciate y'all's support so much. Today, I wanted to talk about Lil Cam. Okay, Lil Cam went to court today. Okay, I want to show the video. Okay, hold on.
Was trying to rack a gun during the incident. She had a functioning firearm. She identified that person from the surveillance video by clothing and physical characteristics. This was determined to be the same person as this defendant, Cameron Joshua. Officers discovered that Mr. Joshua was convicted of the felony offense of grand theft in California on October 27, 2022, making him a convicted felon for the purposes of the carrying a weapon statute. A pocket warrant was obtained for his arrest. The next incident occurred during that arrest, which occurred on the 22nd of November. He was found to exit an apartment off of Leona. He entered a Cadillac vehicle. He was then pulled over for purposes of arresting him on the felony pocket warrant. He was taken into custody and a semi-automatic handgun was found underneath the driver's seat where he'd been sitting. He is also on bond out of this court, Judge, for the offense of tampering, which was filed in November of 2021. And it looks like was indicted on December 13th of last year.
December what?
13th, ma'am.
Thank you. What is this criminal history?
He has a burglary of a motor vehicle case, Judge, that he was convicted of on March 8th of this year that occurred back in 2020 in September. He also has a UCW dismissed. He looks like based out of the same plea agreement, and misdemeanor PCS case that was also dismissed. Looks like out of the same plea agreement.
Thank you. Are there any arguments on the side?
Your Honor, obviously, we're here to request bond on the two new cases. We would submit that at the time that these offenses are alleged to have been committed, Mr. Joshua was on bond for possessing a fake ID. The circumstances of these cases, Judge, I want to make clear she's not suspected of being the shooter in either case, and is suspected in either case. Yes, Judge, there are the two new carrying a weapon cases, right? But in those cases, he's not suspected of being a shooter in the case. These are allegations that he possessed a firearm.
Okay. I guess I misunderstood you. I made it sound like it was allegedly two murders. You said two other cases.
No, ma'am.
Sure, I know he's alleged to have committed felony possession of a weapon and unlawful possession.
Right. In each of those cases, we're dealing strictly with the issue of possessing the weapon, not actually, using it and shooting.
Thank you.
That's right, Judge. Obviously, we would request a hearing for no bond based on the circumstances, Judge. And I spoke with Mr. Downey about having such a hearing, and we also had a conversation about, and we've been in communication with California. We believe it's likely that they will file a motion to revoke probation and will affect a hold on here. So we're talking to Mr. Downey about possibly setting a hearing off next week to see whether or not we can confirm with them, number one, whether he's going to have a hold, and then we could proceed for the hearing at that time.
Yeah, I do think that that's probably a better idea for us to do that, because I'm gonna leave the old case anyway. So I can always set a bond, but then, I may find it to be insufficient, and so, you know how that goes. Uh, I think it'll probably be better. Let's go ahead and just reset it again.
We will, Judge.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay, so he was in court, today trying to get a bond set. Okay. And it does not appear to me that a bond was set. Okay. It was reset for next week. Okay. He was already on bond for other charges. And I did hear the prosecutor say that they wanted to wait for California, Los Angeles, California, or California to see what they was going to do, because if I'm not mistaken, he said that they was going to revoke probation or something like that in California. So it don't look like Cam is going to be getting out. Now he has not been charged with Takeoff's murder, and his lawyer wants to make it clear that he is not being charged with Takeoff murder. But I think they're gearing up to try to do something. Okay. Hold on. I want to play one more little thing. Okay.
So, just our statement is we believe Cameron Joshua has been appropriately charged in this case, and we're continuing our investigation into the death of Takeoff. Thank you all. M-A-T-T Gilliam, Gilliam. I'm a prosecutor at the Harris County DA's office. So just our statement is we believe Cameron Joshua has been appropriately charged in this case, and we're continuing our investigation into the death of Takeoff. Thank you all.
Okay, before I go any further, if you listen to that prosecutor, okay, he's basically, just from listening to him, I believe Lil Cam probably will be charged at some point. He's saying that he feels like he was appropriately charged. That case, he made it clear that that was a separate situation, that he was not, being charged with murder, but he says that they will continue, okay, the investigation into the murder of Takeoff. Okay. And I think they know whatever happened to Takeoff, it lies around that world of what we said to begin with, Lil Cam and J.PRINCE them. Okay. But I digress. Let's see what his lawyer has to say. And his lawyer is considered a super lawyer. Okay, so he does not come cheap.
Spell your first last name.
Sure, it's Christopher Downey, D-O-W-A-Y. I'm representing Cameron Joshua.
Can you tell us what happened in court today?
Sure. Cameron Joshua has been charged with 2 counts of carrying a weapon, and it has only tangential relationship to this shooting involving Takeoff. He's not being charged with the shooting. I think the DA's office knows the difference between carrying a weapon and a shooting case, and if they thought he was involved in the shooting, they would have charged him.
So is this where, I guess there's social media video, like what we've all seen, where he's in the video carrying a gun? Is that where you think all this stemmed from? Or?
That's my understanding. According to the affidavit that's been filed in the first carrying a weapon case, it's based on the shooting. Let me say it's based on the circumstances surrounding the shooting, in that he's alleged to have had a gun there at the scene when the shooting happened.
And it's that a witness saw him with the gun rather than him having used it?
Right. That's my understanding as well, that it's based on a witness's observation that he had a firearm.
And then the witness apparently said they saw him re-racking the weapon.
That's the rumor. I haven't seen anything to support that.
And tell us what happened here legally, as far as you guys just reset the case because he was out on bond or probation on other cases?
Yes,
Kind of explain that.
Mr. Joshua was on bond for an unrelated matter, possessing a fake ID. And the case was reset to determine conditions of bond, whether he'll be held at no bond because it's alleged to have committed an offense while on bond, or whether he'll be given a reasonable bond.
And what's his connection to Takeoff? Why was he at that event?
Again, that's stuff we're all looking into, the relationship between all the parties. My understanding, it was some type of social event. I think some folks were playing dice. Beyond that, I have nothing.
Was he playing dice?
Again, we're looking into that to determine what his actions were that evening.
You've seen some of the reporting by some internet websites who basically sort of allege that he might have shot him or be involved in the murder. Can you dispel some of those rumors or some of the statements we've seen on the reliable World Wide Web?
Sure. I haven't seen anything to suggest that Cameron Joshua had anything to do with the shooting, that he discharged a firearm that caused his death or was even involved in it. My understanding is there was some type of skirmish. From what I've seen from the internet, and I'm familiar with all the Instagram sleuths, they remind me of the blind guy who tries to figure out an elephant and grabs his trunk and thinks it's a snake. The bottom line is they're wrong. Cameron Joshua did not shoot Takeoff.
Have you talked to him? What's his?
I've talked to him. He wants a bond. He wants to get out. He wants to clear his name.
Does Cameron Joshua know who shot Takeoff?
We will discuss that with the DA's office if we decide to. Right now, we're charged with offenses and we're not saying anything.
What do you mean if you decide to?
Well, everybody has the opportunity to discuss those matters if they choose to.
Does the gun he was carrying match anything at the scene? Have the police told you anything about ballistics?
I'm not familiar with anything associated with the ballistics. That hasn't been made available to me.
When's the next court date?
We have a bond hearing next week.
Anything else?
Nothing further.
Can you spell your last name again?
Downey, DOWNEY.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
So my name is
So I ain't gonna even lie. Just from looking at Attorney Downey, he looks like one of those good, astute attorneys. Hey, that knows the law and knows how to fight. Okay. He answered his questions very carefully. He said, and of course he said what any defense attorney would say. My client did not do this. He's being paid to say that. My client will never be charged with this. Of course he'll say that. He's not doing anything any other defense attorney wouldn't say when that's what he's being paid to say, right? But he did, drop some gems when he asked, does Cameron know who shot Takeoff? He says that he'll talk about it if he agrees to, or something to that matter. I don't know the types of games that they're trying to play, but I could tell that they're probably, I don't know, because I've heard, or I've been hearing on the internet that this lawyer is possibly an affiliate of Mob Ties. So he's used to playing dirty. Okay. So I really and truly believe if they can buy off all of the witnesses and things of that nature, they're going to either coerce them or intimidate them into pointing the finger back at Miko's bands. Okay. Looking at Lil Cam in that courtroom, Lil Cam, I don't mean no harm. He looks like just a little puny child. Okay. And I think it's a damn shame that you have people like Mob Ties, because Lil Cam is 22 years old. So he was groomed to be this way. They groomed him. And I'm sure because he looks like he is very, very robotic. I'm sure they groomed him to be as vicious as he could be for them. Okay, because that's what cowards do. They'll go and get somebody who's mentally unstable on the slick and groom them to be as viciously to be as vicious as they, because they don't give a damn about Lil Cam. Lil Cam is probably through. And I believe that, J.PRINCE and them would rather him go through it. They'll send him on up the river. If it takes the heat off of his sons. Who is Lil Cam? He's just their crash dummy. If they had cared anything about him, they never would have been allowing him, because they was positioned and putting Lil Cam in the positions to hit these licks on a lot of these people that they was around that had wealth. Okay, that was their hustle. And this is not something that has been happening. I was looking at a video, if I'm not mistaken. What it damn? Let's see. I'm gonna see if I could just play a little bit of it. Okay. Let's see. I can't think of his name. His name is Big Mike. Here it is. Here it is. Wait a minute. I'm gonna let y'all, don't y'all go nowhere. I want for y'all to see this. I done got country too. I want for y'all to hear this. Okay.
Man, you know what I mean?
I ain't heard him. I ain't heard him.
Cars and stuff like that. But when you look at it, that's just a drop in the bucket compared to the real money that's being made.
Yeah.
They able to do that, and it's really enticing to other youngsters.
Yeah.
So I think that in that way the art suffers.
Yeah.
Because
now, I'm sorry. I got to get back in here on that player though, Mike.
Yeah.
When you drop that song with the video,
You know what? I don't know if that is the particular interview, because he's been making his rounds, but he said something to the tune of, I think when one of the Ghetto Boys left, he kind of replaced one of them, and he ended up getting a contract or something with Mob Ties, and his, when his contract was up, he didn't want to sign anymore or something like that. His house ended up getting shot up. Like, they did some terrible things to him, allegedly. Okay. And he's saying this came from Senior. Okay. So, Junior got a lot of what's going on with him, honestly. Okay. So go check Big Mike out. That's his name, Big Mike. Put in the search engine. Big Mike talks about his days with Mob Ties. I believe it was OG Jacario or somebody that kind of did a synopsis of it also. But he definitely talked about some stuff that was happening even back in the 90s. When Junior was a child, okay, it was happening with Senior, and it seems like history is repeating itself with his offspring. Okay, so but anyways, Lil Cam, his court date was rescheduled as far as trying to get a bond, but it's looking like California is going to revoke his probation. I told y'all in another video he had gotten in some trouble in California. I believe he was out there hitting licks. Okay. But Lil Cam has been trained to be as vicious as he could be. They used him. They lured these celebrities there to grin in their face, and then groom little people like Lil Cam, that they don't give a damn about, to rob a lot of them, and probably allegedly kill them. Because I don't believe Miko's bands killed Takeoff. I believe it came from whoever killed Duke the Jeweler killed him. Okay. And it is because that's what he's been groomed to do. But I don't think it's gonna be. I think what's gonna happen is Lil Cam is disposable. They'll send him on up the river. Okay. People putting heat on the mayor. They're putting heat on the police chief. All eyes are on them. You know, I have to look into how the prosecutor is. But I know he got his lawyer looks like he's one of those good lawyers. So it's gonna be interesting to see what goes on. Because I truly believe if in the future Lil Cam will be charged, but they playing a lot of games right now. They playing a lot of little cat and mouse games because they're used to getting away with stuff, which means you could tell they got a lot of little people that work within City Hall, the mayor himself, you know, but the mayor can't do nothing to the prosecutors. Okay. Because the district attorney, you know, is over the prosecutors, and the district attorney himself or herself is elected. But hell, if they're in cahoots with the mayor, I mean, hey, that's a terrible thing, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on with Lil Cam and his high priced attorney. You know, we already know Lil Cam can't afford no high priced attorney, so we wonder who getting that for him. But either way it goes, they're gonna send Lil Cam on up the river because somebody has to pay for what has happened to Takeoff. I think that the princes know that. I think their sand house is starting to crumble. Okay, it's starting to crumble, and so you know he's going to try to protect his sons. Okay, but I think in the process, you know, especially if the feds have been trying to get him all the time, I think they kind of I'm glad that it happened. If they've been doing this, you know, it's just what happened to Duke the Jeweler and what happened to Takeoff is just too similar. It's just too similar. It's just too close, you know, and they were hanging around the same people. So that's gonna be interesting, you know, just from listening to that district attorney. Okay, he kind of lets you know there may be something to come. Okay. But anyways, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna get off of here because I am tired. Okay. I've been trying to recuperate. Okay. When you work, I've been working a lot to the point that my back is hurting. Okay. So I'm gonna get off of here and I want you guys to have a good night. Talk to you later.